the modalities of the course, how this would be conducted, and certain expectation and what are the tools that would be required. Okay, and so this is not a technical, but basically like basically course description, you can say. Okay. So the way we are going to discuss, like, what are the course objectives, what is the course, like, what are the course contents, and I will give you a little bit background about my research profile and how would we conduct this course online. What would be the course schedule? We probably need to discuss that, and then some tools that would be required for you to efficiently basically learn from this course. So those things we are going to discuss. What I hope that through this lecture series, you can, maybe it would help you in augmenting your knowledge in the area of seismic isolation, or if you are a young faculty, probably it would help you to diversify your research area and then maybe dive into this, maybe take this one as one of the research area, because this is an upcoming field and seems to have a lot of application, especially in India. We are going for a lot of structures recently. We have codes coming, so it's an exciting field in my opinion, and you can take this up as a something that you can explore as a research interest. Okay. So basically, I have divided the course objectives in 3 parts. First would be to understand the principle of seismic isolation. Okay. So if you have not encountered this idea before, we will discuss how this idea actually originated, what is the basic idea behind it, and what kind of technologies actually are utilized in the basically seismic isolation. Then we would learn about modeling, analysis, and design of seismic isolators, and then utilize basically different tools that are available for implementation of seismic isolation. Okay. Now, in terms of course content, I'm a little bit flexible about this course content, but basically this is the what I have prepared. We would learn first what are the principle of seismic isolation and how historically it was developed. So as you might be aware, there is idea like, it doesn't suddenly develop and then implement it. Basically it is developed over maybe centuries, or like, even more than that. It is implemented in some one form or other. Then like, some with the technological advancement, we refine the technology and then implement it for our need based on the functionalities that are needed. Okay. And then after that, before getting into anything else, it is important to understand what is like, the dynamics of the seismically isolated structure. And this would be nothing but principle of single degree or multi-degree of freedom system that you would have probably done in your structural dynamic courses. So we will see a single degree representation and multi-degree representation of seismically isolated structure. And basically, what is the idea of modal participation factor, frequency ratio, and how do these parameters actually affect the efficacy of seismic isolation in a building or any other structure. And then I will give you, or like, give you an idea about the introduction about all type of seismic isolation system. So in broadly, there are basically rubber based isolation system, and there are also sliding based isolation system, so friction based isolation system. But after giving that, I would be focusing mostly on the elastomeric bearings. Okay, but similar kind of in terms of design, unless it is detailing of the isolator itself, the rest of the ideas basically remain same. Okay. Now we will also discuss how to actually design seismic isolator, because in the end, that is the most important thing when you talk about seismically isolating a structure. You need to know how to first design the seismic isolator. Okay. And then some of you would be associated with some kind of research with experimental testing of elastomeric bearings. So we will also discuss that. Many of you would be using different kind of tools and softwares like SAP 2000, LS-DYNA or Abacus. And I will basically, as part of this course, cover all three, how to actually model isolators and base isolated structure in each of these softwares. So these three softwares pretty much cover, like, all type of so SAP 2000, if you know how to do modeling SAP 2000, okay, it would cover other type of frame based analysis softwares as well, like StartPro or something else. And LSDyna and Abaqus are finite element methods based software. So that would give you an overall idea of how to do finite element modeling of these type of isolators. And then we will see basically, like, what are the application principles in terms of design steps to buildings, bridges, and nuclear power plants. Okay. And then we would discuss some recent advancements in seismic isolation technology. And one of these things that I would be discussing, of course, with the assistance of Professor Madhekar, in the low cost sustainable isolator, which she has been working for a long time, and with the recent collaboration of ours, we have been trying to develop this technology together with the collaboration of College of Engineering Pune and IIT Bombay. Just a little bit background about myself. I'm currently, many of you know, an assistant professor in the Department of Civil Engineering Group at IIT Bombay. I have done my BTech from IIT Kanpur and MS and PhD at State University of New York, Buffalo in US. I had also, after completing my BTech, worked for 1 year in Australia as a graduate project engineer, where I looked after expansion projects division, civil engineering division. And I'm also a licensed civil engineering in California, USA. Right now, I'm a code committee member, working group member of code committee that is developing seismic, basically code for the base isolated buildings. And we have already this code in the final stages. It has already been released for the public comments. If you want, I can share the copy of this with you if you want to see this. Okay. So my overall basically research profile is that I work on multi-hazard protection of the structure. My main area is earthquake, and in earthquake I worked on basically seismic control technologies like seismic isolation and performance based earthquake engineering, and I have investigated this as part of my PhD research, and I'm working on that right now as well. So for the last 10 years I'm working in this area of seismic isolation. I'm also doing research in the area of blast and impact, basically blast effect on a structure and then impact effect on structures as well, and then designing and detailing structures for that. Okay. Now, the way we would be conducting this meeting is basically through MS Teams. Now, I hope that you guys are familiar with the interface, how to use it. Basically, I would be sending link to you. I've already added you to the MS Team course page. I would be posting the lecture or the video conference link every day, but it would also be available on the Teams page. So I encourage you to, if you have not already downloaded, download that. And I would be also communicating or conducting, like, some other type of interaction sessions through that. Okay. Now, in terms of timings, lectures, basically, as I said, we would be discussing theory and concepts. And then we would also be discussing, basically doing some tutorials in which we would be doing some numerical problems and software tutorials. Because what I feel, many of these concepts you go to, like, or you attend meetings here and there, and typically presenter does not have sufficient time to take you through the application in terms of numerical problems and software tutorials. Because I feel unless you go through that step, you won't be able to evaluate whether you have understood something completely or not. So we will see actually, and we will discuss that how to get the vertical stiffness of the bearings, how to actually get the design parameters of a bearing, elastomeric bearing, and then how to actually model it and then analyze, do all type of analysis, including linear static analysis, response spectrum analysis, and time history analysis of base isolated structure. Okay. Now, in terms of class schedule, there has been some modification from the last time. This is what I have proposed right now. Okay. Initially, what was communicated to me that participants might have their own schedule during the weekdays, like to teaching and like other colleges. So I was advised to keep it on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But depending upon everybody else's schedule, I can shift it so that I can make it more efficient and productive instead of distributing so many times. Okay, so I would like to ask all of you, and you can unmute yourself and provide your opinion. Would you be available during weekdays or prefer to have it sometimes during the weekdays and then do it over the weekend concentrated, whatever you would like to do? What is the preferable method to all of you?
So I think this would be the best for me because as you said that on weekdays I have classes. Everyone
Okay.
would be have classes. So I think this seems very fine with me.
Okay. Anybody else would like to provide their opinion? See, even if we conduct on weekdays, it would be typically after 5. Or I would discuss with you a priori that whether you are available on that day, all the participants and candidates, and then only we would decide on that. Because what is happening, some of the dates, some other people having commitment on Saturday or Sunday, and I want maximum participation. So that's why I want to do it that if somebody is busy on a particular day, we can do it another day.
So only on 19 December, if possible, I mean, because I have registered for another webinar on 19
Okay,
December.
okay. Is that 19th or 20th? Because I thought that was on 20th, so I shifted on 90th. But if it is on 90th, that I can shift it on 20th.
It is on 19th, sir.
So we can conduct on 20th. That is not a problem from my side. Is that okay with everybody?
Okay from my side.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All okay. So
Thank you.
yeah, I will communicate those changes to you.
Yes, sir.
Everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So I have one question.
Yes.
So all these softwares should be like download these softwares or like how do we model our
Okay. Let me just go through this slide. Okay, then we can discuss. So basically, typically these are the softwares that are famously used for modeling analysis of basically base isolated structures. Okay. Now, I hope that you have access. Do you all of you have access to SAP 2000? Anybody who does not have access to SAP 2000? So I'm assuming that all of you have access to SAP 2000. How about Abacus?
No, sir. I don't have any exposure and not an access also.
Okay, there is a student version you can probably download.
Okay.
So if you go to Abacus website, there is a DS Simulia. It is a Dassault website. You can go there and you can perhaps download the student version. See if you can get access to that. Okay.
Okay.
Similarly for LS Dyna. LS Dyna link I have already posted. Okay. So you can go through that link and download basically LS Dyna is part of ANSYS now. So you can download the trial version there. And OpenSearch is an open source software. Now, I would recommend that if you want to explore further in this area, in the area of seismic isolation, do learn OpenSys. Because if you want to take this is an academic career option, OpenSys is an open source software and it is famously used everywhere in the world for analysis and simulations of structures subject to basically seismic loading and other type of loading. Now, because OpenSys is an open source, it is quite popular, and you would always get access to this software. Okay, so we will basically conduct a few small tutorials in all of these, and depending upon your access, if I feel that at some point of time you cannot get access to that particular software right now, what I might do, I might just create a presentation or software tutorial, and for that specific tutorial I can share that with you, okay, for your own uses. So that would be valid, but I at least expect that you have access to SAP 2000 That is at a minimum, because otherwise, like, it would be very difficult to teach you how to do the modeling and analysis in and for a typical building. Okay, so try to get at least access to SAP 2000.